इजराइल पर आतंकी संगठन हमास का अटैक हुआ है। इजराइल के ऊपर यह चौतरफा अटैक अभी तक के इतिहास में बड़ा अटैक माना जा रहा है। बड़ी संख्या में इजरायली मारे गए हैं, इजरायली फोर्सेस से जुड़े लोग मारे गए हैं। इजराइल पर हमास के इस अटैक के बाद अब जवाबी कार्रवाई इजराइल की तरफ से की जा रही है। लेकिन अभी सिचुएशन क्या है, किस तरह से इजराइल जवाब दे रहा है, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर लगातार अलग अलग प्रतिक्रियाएं आ रही हैं। इन सब चीजों पर बातचीत करने के लिए हमारे साथ कॉन्सुलेट जनरल कोबी जी हैं। इनसे बातचीत करेंगे और समझेंगे कि इस वक्त क्या स्थिति है इजराइल में। मिस्टर कोबी, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर टॉकिंग विद अस। I just want to know, what is the current situation in Israel right now?
Right now, after 40 years, a little bit more than 48 hours after the brutal attack of these terrorists, I can say that the Israeli Special Forces control the southern part of Israel, especially the small cities and villages around the Gaza Strip. And this is good news after 48 dramatic hours in Israel. We are right now controlling all the small villages. We call it kibbutzes. It's agriculture fields, villages, and we are controlling the place. And still there are bombardments by the Israeli Air Force over Gaza Strip. This is right now the current situation. We are trying to do our best right now to count what's going on, to understand the situation, the current situation, and to retaliate very, very soon.
What do you think? Only Hamas is behind all this attack, or someone else, those who are just financing or supporting the Hamas organization?
You know, without being a professional, and I was in the intelligence in the Israeli forces, to see such a numbers of people making a comprehensive and coordinated event, it's something that you need external forces. You don't have to be an expert to understand it. The main focus, of course, is Hamas, but I assume that the cooperation of Hamas with other terrorist groups in Gaza Strip, and of course with Hezbollah, supported by Iran, is very clear. There is a money involved here, there is a technology here, there is a intelligence information coming here, and it was a big surprise in Israel, I have to admit, this way or another.
We have seen some visuals from other Islamic countries, just if you can say Iran, Syria and some other countries. They are just celebrating this attack on Israel. What do you say on that?
I will do it in a very clear voice. If you beaten this boy, if you taking by air young ladies, if you beaten and killed families, complete families, killing them from parents to grandfathers and mothers and kids, completely. If you take elderly people that passed the Holocaust, some of them with the dementia, some of them with a mental problem, very old, and take them to Gaza Strip, and you are happy with that, you are not a human being. You are an animal. And in a war like in a war, they will pay the price for it.
In this attack, we are seeing that there are two parts of world. I mean, Western worlds are with you guys. I mean, India is also supporting you, and there are, many Indians are just tweeting and everything. They are supporting like anything. What do you say? I mean, if we consider as India your good friend, what do you say about that?
These condemnations that we've seen all over the world from President Biden and of course your Prime Minister Modi ji, which his tweet was fantastic, very clear voice, and he's one of the great leaders of the world right now. Along with all the Western countries, I see in my eyes a border between good countries, moral countries, democratic countries, and the rest of the world. And I think that India, along with the West, along with the United States, along most of the countries in the world, they're in the good side of the world. And it's a very clear border between democracies, moral people, and good friends. And in the other side, terrorist, radicalism, fundamentalism, and brutalism in such a way that even I cannot describe it. This is a very clear border.
There are many who are supporting Palestine and the Hamas.
Of course, naturally, some of the Muslim countries understand that they support Hamas this way or another. But when they see the photos, when they see the brutality of the people, I think that even Muslims in the Arab states cannot be indifferent for that. And they will understand that eventually violent is a violent, doesn't matter against who. And if you are in such a brutal way acting against kids and human beings, I think that it's not going to give them any support. Nobody likes to live near to people who are acting in such a way. You don't want to live, you don't want such a neighbors. And I think that eventually, in the end of the day, after they will see the photos, they will understand. Maybe they're happy for a moment, but I don't want to be a friend of such people. There is a Muslim or Arabic phrase that I would like to mention. If you're not worried from God, I'm worried from you. And I think this is the very important way to describe the Muslim attitude towards these brutal criminals, terrorists, that they're acting to young people, women, and elderly people in such a way.
There is one thing. We say we have heard many big stories about Mossad, but do you think it's a big failure from your intelligence agency? I mean, they have failed like anything, and this kind of attack is not just 24 hours planning. It might be a big planning, and so it's a big failure. Are you agree with this?
It's a good question right now. This is the hardest question right now in Israel, and I see all the Israeli channels. It's an open issue. Definitely it was a surprise. I don't want to describe it as a failure, but it looks like that. But right now, all of the state of Israel, any politician, doesn't matter who are they, any parties, we are just concentrating in one thing. First of all, to bring the peace to the state of Israel, and second thing, to do whatever necessary to do with these brutal criminals. And this is our aim right now. Afterwards, we will investigate. Definitely, it was you use it as a failure. It was not a big success. Definitely, it was an intelligent misconception. Maybe it was intelligence misinformation. I don't want how to describe it. Definitely, we Israeli knows how to learn the lessons. We will investigate. We learn from our mistakes. We learn for the next time. We will improve ourselves. But definitely right now we are concentrating in one thing. First of all, to bring the peace to Israel. And second thing, to punish these brutal criminals.
Your family is there. I mean, have you heard, have word with them? What's their reaction?
I have two daughters in Israel and one son. It's not easy time to be far away in the peaceful India land when your kids they are hearing sounds of sirens and going out down to the shelters. It's not nice, believe me, as a father. But we are strong. My two daughters were in the army, of course. My son. An hour ago, it was a siren in Jerusalem. One of my daughters, she lives in Jerusalem. And she called me and she said, Daddy, we have a siren. What to do? I said, as normal, go to the shelter, wait 10 minutes, and then if nothing happened, you can go out. She heard, of course, the boom because it was fell not far away from her. It was in a road, in a main road not far away from Jerusalem. Then she heard it, and but it's not easy for us as parents. But I don't want to speak about myself. People lost their families, lost their friends, and Israel is a very, very small country. In a circle of life, thousands of people who've been killed. There is at least one or two. We are a very small country. I know some people who've been killed in this massacre. I know them personally.
Some close ones.
Not very close, but friends of my daughters. But in Israel, because it's a very small country, everybody knows everybody. And the circles are very short. It's not like in India, 1.4 billion. In Israel, we are only 9 million people. Then it's quite dramatic. Then the mourning and the sadness is very heavy. But we will prevail.
America is supporting with the weapons and everything, and on the other hand, they are asking not to use nuclear. What do you say?
First of all, I don't know. They didn't ask something like that, but we are not going to use. We have strong army, and I think that we will do the utmost. First of all, we really appreciate the help of United States. It's not only a moral; it's more than that. It's economical help. It's financial work help. Is military support, and this cannot be forgotten by the Israeli, and we have a very appreciation for that, and they will make it in a very clear voice. You have the right to defend yourself, which I don't think that someone can translate it in a different way, and it's very, very clear. We are a nation that was suffered during the history. Talking about the Second World War and even before, Second World War, the Holocaust was very difficult. When we saw people that actually passed the Holocaust, taking to be captured in this brutal area, this is something that they touch our open nerve, open historical nerves.
Prime Minister Modi is, tweeted as you have mentioned, and they are standing with the Israel. We Indians, there are many tweets and all, which shows that Indians are with Israel. How do you, what's your take on that?
The very clear voice that your Prime Minister made, it was very, very important for us because of Prime Minister Modi. He is well respected in the world. But more than that, I can tell you that I get thousands of messages in the social medias and of course in my private WhatsApp and SMSs supporting. There is one line that actually is connected everybody together. They said the relation between India and Israel is something that unites left and right in India, opposition and coalition. The support of Israel, the fight against terrorism, the mutual responsibility between the two states, this is something that actually connecting even parties in that. Of course, there are some people who don't like us. We live with that. Okay, believe me, we are not taking it personally. But the retaliation will come, and you will see what is Israel very, very soon.
Prime Minister Modi always used to say that it's not time of war; it's a time of peace and development.
In Hebrew there is a sentence: "Time for peace and time for war." Sorry to say, but now it's time for war.
How many people, till now killed by the Hamas in Israel?
Right now, according to official numbers, it's 800 and something, but I think that the numbers is going to be higher. That's right now the estimation. Right now, then we control the situation in the southern part of Israel. We will understand what was the result. The numbers will be given, I assume, by tomorrow, the final numbers. We will know what's going on, but we are talking about hundreds of people who've been massacred by these brutal terrorists, and we will not forget it, and we will not forgive it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kobbi, for giving your time. कोबी है जिनके मुताबिक ये इनका कहना है कि उन लोगों को छोड़ा नहीं जाएगा, बख्शा नहीं जाएगा, उन्हें पनिश किया जाएगा जिन्होंने इजराइल के लोगों के साथ इतनी ब्रुटैलिटी से वार किया, महिलाओं को, बच्चों को, बुजुर्गों को नहीं छोड़ा गया। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के ट्वीट को लेकर भी इजराइल के लोगों ने उनका शुक्रिया अदा किया। जिस तरह से प्रधानमंत्री ने इजराइल को एक सपोर्ट किया है, हम देख रहे हैं कि भारतीयों की तरफ से लगातार ट्वीट किए जा रहे हैं, सपोर्ट किया जा रहा है इजराइल को। इसके अलावा जिस तरह से दुनिया एक दो धड़े में बढ़ती दिख रही है, जो इस्लामिक कंट्रीज हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं इजराइल के समर्थन में नहीं है, वो फिलिस्तीन के समर्थन में दिखाई दे रहे हैं, हमास के इस अटैक को कहीं ना कहीं एक तरह से सपोर्ट करते दिखाई दे रहे हैं, जबकि जो पश्चिमी देश हैं वो लगातार इजराइल के साथ खड़े हैं, ना सिर्फ साथ खड़े हैं बल्कि तमाम सपोर्ट, चाहे वो हथियारों के जरिए हो या फिर अन्य चीज़ों के जरिए हो, सपोर्ट भी दे रहे हैं। ऐसे में देखना होगा कि जिस तरह से जैसा कोबी जी कह रहे हैं कि ये समय शांति का नहीं, ये वॉर का समय है और इजराइल सबको सबक जो है सिखाए बगैर रुकने वाला नहीं है। देखना होगा कि ये युद्ध कब जाकर थमता है। कैमरा पर्सन प्रकाश चौहान के साथ अश्विन पांडे, जी मीडिया, मुंबई।
आई भवानीचा गजर म्हणजे Zee 24 तास